Kill them all. What am I talking about? Am I talking about ants? You know, I hate to say I don't like to kill anything, but I don't like ants in the house. They can live all they want outside, but not in the house. But nope, today is day 9 of our Supersize Business Challenge, and we are talking about killing some of the things we've been talking about the last couple of days, and yesterday in particular. Killing our excuses, getting them out of the way once and for all, killing our false beliefs and excuses. And we're going to talk more in depth about beliefs, both positive beliefs and false beliefs tomorrow. But today, I really want to talk about how do you kill the excuses. All of the excuses that we all make, we all use, we all have excuses or reasons or objections. We can call them whatever we want. But bottom line, if you dig down to it, if I'm not doing something that I know I should be doing for my business or for my life for that matter, it's because I'm making excuses, at least in my head, even if they're not coming out of my mouth and I'm not telling people, I am making those excuses in my head. Whoop, stress ball. Do you guys remember these? I found this, I was looking for something to diffuse my light because it's so harsh today. And I found this little Apple stress ball and I forgot about these. I've got a boat one and I used to have them in corporate America on my desk or in my desk all the time because when something silly would happen and I didn't want to say it, like, okay, that was really an idiotic thing to say or do, I would grab out my little stress ball and I would just squeeze it under my desk and no one would know that I was thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. That has nothing to do, although it does have something to do with how do we kill our excuses and procrastination. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I have found personally, and I think you might find too if you ask yourself, if I want to act in a certain way or take action or get over a hurdle or an obstacle or an excuse that I'm using, number one, turn off my alarm and ask myself a better question. The reason I'm procrastinating or making an excuse is because I'm asking myself a crappy question. I'm piling on all the reasons I don't want to do something and why I'm putting it off and why I don't want to act instead of piling on all the reasons I do want to do something and why I want to do it now. I find that if I focus on what I want and if I make my want and my desire greater than my fear of action, because the only reason we don't act is because we're afraid. We're afraid it's going to give us more pain than pleasure. If I up my want and my reason for wanting to do something, that will reduce my fear and fear can show up in all different ways, right? Procrastination is a form of fear. It's a fear of pain. It's a fear of if I do this or if I have to put in the effort to do this, it's going to be more painful than if I just put it off. So a bunch of different ways that you can increase your want. I always go back and I re-ask myself about my why. Why do I want to do this? Why is it important that I get this done? You know, and a lot of times I'll find out that the thing I'm procrastinating over, I don't really even have to do. I could delegate it to somebody else. It doesn't even have to get done. It's just something I thought or heard or learned about that I thought might be cool for my business, but it's really not right for me or for my business. So then I just let it go. And then there's no more thought or worry or doubt or fear or procrastination involved because I've made a choice, a conscious choice to just not do it because it's not the right move for me. And sometimes we're procrastinating on things because they aren't the right thing for us to do for our lives or our business. You know, sometimes we say no because we don't want to date somebody because they're not the right person for us. It's the same thing with the steps and the actions that we take toward growing and supersizing our business. So let me just share a couple of my favorite strategies. Number one, I like to ask myself why. I like to revisit why am I doing this? Why is it important that I do this? And then the second thing I'll do by asking myself that why question and focusing on what I want is usually the first one. But then I will think of ways to increase the pain of not doing something or not getting it done or not achieving it. And I will decrease the pleasure of procrastinating. I won't let myself do any activities that I like to do. If it's something that I decide is urgent and important and I really have to do it and I want to act that in the direction of that, I won't let myself do anything that I really enjoy doing, like as procrastination. Like I won't go cook something I love to eat. I won't go for a walk in the park if I want to procrastinate, because these are things I love to do. So if I reduce the pleasure of procrastination, like maybe if I want to procrastinate, I have to go take out the trash or clean the bathroom, heaven forbid, or organize my desk, things I don't like to do, that decreases the pleasure of the procrastination. And so I'm more likely to do the thing that I've been putting off, right? I ask myself a better question. Usually when I'm procrastinating or when we're putting something off or making excuses for something, it's because we're asking ourselves a bad question. Why does this always take me so long? Why do I procrastinate? Those are bad questions because we're going to get an answer because our brain is going to serve up, well, because that's just the way you are. That's just the way you've always been. And that's going to appease your conscious and your ego, and you're going to keep procrastinating. So ask a better question. The other thing that I do to get over excuses and objections and making stuff up because I want to procrastinate is I take action. I do something physical. I move, I get up from my desk, I go get a drink of cold water, I might go for a walk or just step outside on the front porch or step outside my business, let the sun shine on my face, take a couple of deep breaths, and then just re-energize myself and say, yep, you got this, go knock it out. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, because a lot of people advise it, but sometimes it has the exact reverse effect on me. They say, do the hardest part of something first, or the thing you dread the most first. And sometimes that works really, really well for me. Other times it backfires and it'll shut me down totally. So you have to do what's right and what works best for you. So your action step today is to think of one excuse or one objection for not doing something or not moving ahead in your business or not even busting out of your comfort zone. That's kind of a little thing to supersize your business. What is the first excuse? And you've made a whole list of them. Just pick one and try some of these different strategies on it. Actually do some of these different strategies on it. Increase your why. Why do I want to do this? Why is this good for my business? Decrease your pleasure of procrastinating or not doing it or using that excuse, because we only use excuses because we think they help us. I don't have the time. Lamest excuse on the planet. We all have 24 hours in a day. Time is a great equalizer. Every time I catch myself saying, I don't have time, I switch in my head and I say, I have not made this a priority, because that doesn't let my brain or my subconscious make an excuse for me. And it doesn't let my conscious mind buy into my own BS excuses that I'm using to stop myself from doing what it is I really want to do. So do this today. I will see you tomorrow. We're going to talk about beliefs. I love beliefs, one of my favorite subjects, because they, as much as we don't like to admit it, totally impact how we're supersizing our business. Go out, make it a super fantastic supersize day, and I will see you tomorrow with day 10 of our Supersize Business Challenge. Hey, the Jam Grandma out. Bye.